Good evening. Thank you. Good evening. Thank you. Good evening. Congressman John Lewis, before his passing, wrote, "Democracy is not a state. It is an act." And what he meant was that America's democracy is not guaranteed. It is only as strong as our willingness to fight for it. To guard it and never to take it for granted. And protecting our democracy takes struggle. It takes sacrifice. But there is joy in it. And here is the progress. Because we, the people, have the power to build a better future. And when our very democracy was on the ballot in this election, with the very soul of America at stake, and the world watching, you asked in a new day for America. To our campaign staff and volunteers, this is extraordinary team, and thank you for bringing more people than ever before into the democratic process. For making this victory possible, to the pawn workers and the election officials across our country who have worked tirelessly to make sure every vote is counted, our nation owes our debt of gratitude. You have protected the integrity of our democracy, and to American people who make up our beautiful country, thank you for turning out in record numbers to make your voice heard. And I know times, especially the last several months, the grief, sorrow, pain, and worries in the struggles, but we also witnessed our courage, your resilience, and the generosity of your spirit. For your 4 years, you marched and organized for equality and trusted for our lives and for our planet. And then you voted. And you deliver a clear message. You chose hope and unity, decency, science. Yes, truth. You chose Joe Biden as the next president of the United States of America. And Joe is a healer, united, tested, and steady hand. A person whose own experience of loss gives him a sense of purpose that will help us as a nation reclaim our own sense of purpose, and a man with a big heart who loves abandon. And his love for Jill, who will be an incredible first lady. And his love for Hunter and Ashley and his grandchildren and the entire Biden family. And while I first knew Joe as a vice president, I really got to know him as a father, both my dear friend who we remember here today, and to my husband Dodd and our children Cole and Ella. and my sister Maya and our whole family. I love you all more than I can ever express. And we are so grateful to Joe and Gio for welcoming into this on this incredible journey, and to the woman most responsible for my presence here today, my mother, Shaila Gopalan Harris, who is always in our hearts. And when she came here from India at the age of 19, she maybe didn't quite imagine an American, but she believed so deeply in America, where a moment like this is possible. And so I'm thinking about her and about generation of women, black women, Asian, white, Latina, Native American women. And throughout our nation's history, he paved the way for this moment tonight. Women who fought and sacrificed so much for equality and liberty, and trusted for all, including black women, who are often too often looked over, so often prove that they are blackborn of our democracy. And all the women who have worked to secure and protect the right to vote for over a century, 100 years ago with the 19 amendments, 55 years ago with the Voting Now Act, and now in 2020 with the new generation of women in our country. So cast their ballots and continue to fight for their fundamental right to vote and be heard. Tonight, I reflect on their struggle and determination and the strength of their vision to see what can be unburdened and what has been, and I stand on their shoulders. And what the testament is to Joe's character, and he had it audacity and background, the most substantial barriers that exist in our country, and select a woman as its vice president. But while I may be the first woman in this office, I will not be the last. Because every little girl watching tonight sees that this is a country of possibilities. And to children of our country, regardless your gender, our country has sent you a clear message. Dream with ambition, live with conviction, and see yourselves in a way that the others might not, simply because they have never seen it before. But know that we have loved every step of the way. And to American people, no matter what who voted for, I will strive to be a vice president like Joe. Ways to President Obama, loyal, honest, and prepared. Waking up every day thinking of you and your family. Because now is when the real work begins. And hard work and necessary work and good work that essential work to save lives. And beat this epidemic to rebuild our economy, so it works for working people to root out systemic and justice system society and combat the climate crisis. To unite our country and heal the soul of our nation. And the road ahead will not be easy, but America is ready. And so are Joe and I. We have elected a president who represents the best in us, A leader the world will respect, and our children will look up to, and Commander-in-Chief who will respect our troops and keep our country safe, and the President for all Americans.